so it's your internal landscape, your attitude. Is the glass half full or is it half empty? You have a choice. You can see it this way or you can see it that way. This way, half empty, is a negative approach because you're now missing something rather than gaining something. And so by working those kinds of structures in your belief systems will change your health, just like that. I guess one of my gifts for the military was that I was basically described as a 4-year-old that never became 7. That means I have an eidetic memory, and it's different than photographic and was a key for the military using me to connect dots. You know, I was like a reader, where they would have me read unrelated things and see if there were connections between them. And that was where my gift was. Right from when I was a little tiny kid. Time is a type of way information folds into or out of itself. Robert Ornstein called time was a duration of consciousness. It's the way you store memory. In agriculture, when I came to discover what I was doing in the military, I was making weapons. I didn't really go to school to be that kind of a person. And I was always a mountain man. I loved the idea of living in the woods and being self-reliant. And that's when I decided I wanted to learn how to become a farmer. Space and time have already been shown to not be real, and that they're subsets of a minor dimension, and that really what we're talking about is information. My concern about Fukushima is that the military now uses algorithms. In this case, it's a form of Clifford algebra, dimensional math, that listens to the chatter on the internet and accurately predicts the future based on what's being talked about at this moment. It's an algorithm, and it's pretty accurate. And it would suggest that in the current direction of Fukushima, that event will become an extinction event for mankind by the year 2050. Certified organic does not mean it's not GMO. That's why they're trying to go for labeling. Community-supported agriculture is actually a really good concept. And so I had this construct of children. I did this in Chattanooga, where they took 12 playgrounds and converted them into basically community gardens where the farmers markets would meet. Now, Chattanooga is a large city, and so they had 12 different locations where you can now buy upwards of almost anything that you want to eat in your diet. We believe that the spites in the aurora borealis are life forms. They're sentient, they're self-organizing, and they're briefly lived, but they're real. 10 new titles ready to go to press, and they include the Encyclopedia of Alternative Agriculture is in 5 volumes. I was able to publish 1 volume last year. I would like to do 2 more of that this year. Native Plants of Commercial Importance was published last year. I would like to do a sequel to that called Forest Farming. The Modern Alchemist has a sequel called Pantheon, Archetypal Gods in Daily Living. It's on how to use mythic living and some protocols I developed with Navy SEALs on how to change belief systems and to use mythology as a way of consciousness. Another book I've got, sequels, Power Tools for the 21st Century. It had Workbook 1. There are 2 other workbooks that want to come out, Workbook 2 and 3, that would sequel that. Further to that is the 3rd book in the series called The Non-Local Mind in a Holographic Universe. Basically, how to change the movie using altered states of consciousness. I have a series of books that want to go to press this year, and I'm currently seeking a patron for about $75,000. There would be a 10% return on investment, plus one of the books could be dedicated to the patron that allowed that to happen. And with special thanks and gratitude to allow me to actually complete some works I've started a long time ago that may be critically important in today's environment.
Programming on TV now is outrageous. The writers are all formula with the slide-in commercials and the idea of consumerism. Buy more, want more.
The $75,000 would be about it's about $5,000 per title to go to press, whether you do Nook, Kindle, or a hardback copy. I'm basically going to want another $5,000 to redo my website from Joomla into WordPress, and then the $20,000 extra would go into savings, so I don't need to concern myself for 1 year of making rent. And I'm basically need to focus on this, and because I'm 70 years old, I've got a few more miles on the tread, but I'd like to complete these 10 volumes because I have some new stuff that's actually ready to start writing, and I need to finish old stuff before I start new stuff and have completion on things.
You know, I was fortunate to go to Antarctica. I did see the Nazi base. I did see a Viking base from the 14th century. There is a lot more going on.
With that, I appreciate your time and trying to help an old, grumpy old man continue with his purpose on this planet, and that is basically to write.